Hi everyone, I am Mrs. Wenning and I'm excited to talk to you about paraphrasing today. I know you are working on informational writing and paraphrasing can be a big part of that. It's one of the tools that you can have in your toolbox as you are writing informational text. So today our learning target is going to be I can read information, write it in my own words, and demonstrate my skill when I paraphrase a quote on my own. So this is building on the work that you've done with informational text, and then it's also going to help move you forward toward being prepared to create your informational text project. So let's keep going here. So today's agenda is very simple. It is going to start with a mini lesson where we're going to talk about paraphrasing, and then I'm going to demonstrate what that process looks like. We're also going to then go into work time where you're going to practice paraphrasing in a Canvas assignment. And then finally, we're going to go to share time. And that's where you're going to go to our Canvas discussion for today. And you're going to share your thinking with the class, and you're going to be able to see their thinking as well. So our mini lesson starts here, and it is about how writers paraphrase to share information. So there are three ways that writers typically share information that they have found outside of themselves, that they've found in other texts or other information that they've been studying. So those three ways are, number one, direct quote, and that's when a writers copy short sentences or passages from the original text. They use every single exact word and they put quotation marks around it. We also have paraphrase, which is what we're going to talk about today. And that's when writers put a section of a text into their own words and change the words and phrasing of the original text, but they keep the original meaning of the text. That's paraphrasing. And then we also have summary. And summary is when a writer states a general overview of the main ideas and findings of a text in their own words. Again, so paraphrase and summary, both of them are in your own words. Summary is just the general overview. And then all three of these always include all three of these choices, include an in-text citation using the expected formatting style. For us, that is MLA, okay? And your teachers have or will be talking about that with you as well. So we're going to focus in today on paraphrasing, and there are simple steps, a simple process that you can use to have a really great paraphrase. So first of all, we want to understand what is paraphrasing. And writers paraphrase when they write a piece of a text in their own words, when they include all of the important information, and when they give credit to the original source. So writing it in your own words, including all of the important information, and giving credit to that original source. I think it's important that you also understand what paraphrasing is not. So paraphrasing is not just changing a couple of words, okay? It's not deleting a couple of words or phrases. It's not rearranging a couple of words or, at the order, or taking one sentence and taking the order and changing that and not changing anything else. It really is thinking through and putting it in your own words. And there's a really simple 5-step process that I'm going to teach you that you can use as you paraphrase. So here you go. Step one is read the text and notice the important names, numbers, and terms. Okay, you're going to then, step two, remove the text. You're actually going to take it away so your eyes cannot see it. Step three is explaining the idea from the text out loud in your own words. 4 is going to then type that explanation up in your own words. And then 5 is you're going to look back then at the original text to check for accuracy and compare the two. So we're going to try it. Okay, here we go. So before we can have any kind of quote to paraphrase, there has to be a research question and some research. So I don't know if you recognize this gentleman over here, but he is a sloth from the movie Zootopia. And when I saw him in his funny scene, if you haven't seen it, you should. It's hysterical. And he's so slow and so adorable. He just made me fall in love with sloths, the cartoon kind. And then I saw the real kind, and they really do move that slow, and I was wondering why, and I've never gotten the answer to that question, so that's what we're going to look at today. So I'm excited. So why are sloths so slow? That's my research question. All right, so to get this figured out so I can have a really great paraphrase, first of all, I need to read the text. So I found an article. It's called Why Are Sloths Slow? And 6 Other Sloth Facts. And this is from the World Wildlife Fund. And this is an internationally known organization. It is a credible source. And so I also did put the citation here so that I could have it later for my works cited page. And so I read this article and I found this quote. I thought this was really a great answer, or part of at least getting started on answering my research question of why are sloths so slow. So here it is. Sloths have an extremely low metabolic rate, which means they move at a languid, sluggish pace through the trees. On average, sloths travel 41 yards per day, less than half the length of a football field. So I have this and I'm thinking through it, and there are a couple of things that I really need to think through. First of all, I need to think about what a low metabolic rate is. That looks familiar to me. I need to really access my prior information from my health class. And if I think back to that, I remember that a low metabolic rate means that an animal or person is slow at burning calories because they want to preserve those calories. Their body wants to preserve those calories. And then there was another word here, languid. I recognize that word, but I'm not quite sure what it means. And I can look at my context clue here of sluggish and know it means probably slow or lazy or something, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to take 2 seconds and look that up. And then I did that and I wrote it down, and it means slow and relaxed. Okay, so I have my little note that I jotted that down. Okay, so the next step 2 is to remove the text. Okay, it's gone. All right, I'm not looking at it. It's totally gone. And then step 3 is to explain the ideas out loud in your own words. So for my text, I noticed that it said sloths move at an average daily rate of 41 yards. It is a slow pace, and as a result of their movement, their slow movement as a result of their slow metabolic rate. So that's what I got from what I read. So now I can write that down. All right, so sloths, here's what I wrote down. Sloths only move an average of 41 yards per day. This slow and relaxed tempo, I did try to think of another term instead of rate. A result of their low metabolic rate allows them to conserve their energy. So that's what I came up with. Sloths only move an average of 41 yards per day. This slow and relaxed tempo, a result of their low metabolic rate, allows them to conserve their energy. So that's step 4. I typed it out. Now, I also want to make sure I added that citation. That's really important. The next part is to now compare the original text with what I wrote to make sure I didn't miss anything, that I really am giving the right information. So I'm going to look back. Sloths have an extremely low metabolic rate, which means they move at a languid, sluggish pace through the trees. On average, sloths travel 41 yards per day, less than half the length of a football field. Okay, well, if I look over here, sloths only move an average of 41 yards per day. This slow and relaxed tempo, a result of their low metabolic rate allows them to conserve their energy. I missed 2 things that I noticed, okay? The first one, I did not say that they travel through the trees. I think that's really important. So I'm going to make sure that I revise this and add that. Also, I did not talk about the fact that 41 yards is less than half the length of a football field. I think that's just redefining what 41 yards is, so I think I'm okay without it. And I feel like I'd be copying too much if I just wrote that exactly word for word. So let me fix it here. And okay, so now I've added in what I think I need. So sloths travel through the treetops and only move an average of 41 yards per day. So I got that piece in about the treetops. That is, I think, essential information from the original quote. So let's go to the final draft. Sloths travel through the treetops and only move an average of 41 yards per day. This slow and relaxed tempo, a result of their low metabolic rate, allows them to conserve their energy. And I have my in-text citation. There was no author on this, so that's why we started with the title, and that will connect the reader to the works cited page. All right, so paraphrasing review real quick here. Writers paraphrase when they write a piece of text in their own words. Okay, I did that, so I've checked that off. Include all of the important information. I made sure to do that with my paraphrase. And give credit to the original source. I did that as well. I did not simply change a couple of words. I didn't do that. I didn't delete just a couple of words or phrases. And I didn't rearrange the order of the words, and that's it, right? I changed it, and I used my own voice to do that paraphrase. And so just really quickly on our 5 steps: read the text, remove the text, explain the text in your own words out loud, type the text, and then refer back to the original text to check for accuracy. Okay, now your next steps today are to go into work time, where you are going to go to your Canvas assignment for today, and you'll be practicing paraphrasing, and then you're going to do your share time, where you go to your Canvas discussion for today and share your best paraphrase with your classmates. Remember, if you do those things, you're really going to hit that learning target. Remember, that was, I can read information, write it in my own words, and demonstrate my skill when I paraphrase a quote on my own. So it's really great. You're going to have evidence today of your learning. All right, here we go. Now you try.